entrepreneurs, to episode 2 of the Form and Function Salon podcast. I am your host, Benjamin Jay, and I appreciate you hanging with me here for a little bit. Your feedback has been phenomenal. I love hearing from stylists and owners. If you would like to send me a message, email me. You can do so directly at ben@thehairloftltd.com. You can, of course, also message us on our social media platforms at ffsalonedu on Instagram. One favor to ask up front, just because it's a podcast and we have to, is hit that subscribe button. Give us a 5-star rating if you love it. If you don't, give us a 5-star rating also, just because that would be great. And with that, let's get into this episode. So I'm actually starting this episode with a question. You probably saw it in the title. Who is the most important person in the salon? Now, everybody already has an idea of who that person is, but I want to paint 3 different pictures for you and just kind of see where we land. Great quote that I found, and I tried to dive deep to figure out who to give the credit to on this one, but the internet, it didn't seem like there was one true source. So anyway, very valuable, and I loved it. A customer is the most important visitor on our premises. He is not dependent on us. We are dependent on him. He is not an interruption in our work. He is the purpose of it. He is not an outsider in our business. He is part of it. We are not doing him a favor by serving him. He is doing us a favor, giving us an opportunity to do so. That is just beautiful. That is a fantastic way for all of us to think about our customers. And so clients are obviously the most important people in the salon. Everything that we do is geared towards the client. And because of that, right, every step of the way, everything that we do, we have to be doing it with gratitude. Gratitude is absolutely a key when it comes to living a successful lifestyle. And one of the reasons that customers leave any business or choose to not do business with them again is because they don't feel that their business was appreciated. Think about the last time you left somewhere. You go out to a restaurant, the wait staff doesn't seem to even care if you're there. You're probably not going back. And so our gratitude has to be more than simply customer appreciation days. I could go on a whole rant about how customer appreciation days are always simply they're just sales. They're just simply sales. Hey, thanks so much for spending money here and supporting us. We would love it if you would spend more money. We're just going to give you a discount on the more money. I don't like that sort of stuff. You've got to live by that gratitude each and every day. But think about this. In your area, and it's not going to matter if you are in a small town of 1,200 people or if you are in a city like we're here in Chicago with, I don't even know what we have, millions of people. How many salons are around you? There's gobs of salons. There's always so many salons. And so the fact that your customer not just chooses to see you, but also chooses to not do business at the other places, that alone should be grounds for us to make sure that our appreciation is known every single time they visit, every single time they interact with us. They need to have that feeling. Now, customers are the most important, right? Because everything that we do in the salon is retention based. That is the most important word when it comes to building your business, is retention. So many people are focused on how do we get more clients in the door. We need to find new requests. We need to build walk-in traffic. You don't. And when you're starting out, you do, yeah. But for many stylists that are established, what you need to be focusing on is retention and getting those guests to come back. And how do we get somebody to come back? Well, the answer is not that we continue to do the same thing that we've always done. The answer is to continue to get better at what we've always done. See, we have to continue to exceed the customer's expectations if we have a chance of getting that guest to come back. There was a great article that John Harms put out relatively recently. I'm not sure when he put it out. But John Harms, he's the CEO of Millennium Software. I think it's the biggest software company in the world. And he said that on all the data that he has seen, and if somebody's going to have a lot of data, it's going to be him, the customers tend to move on after their 6th or 7th visit at a salon. So if we think about the client's journey here for just a moment, looking at a client that decides, you know what, I need to find a new salon. Not somebody that just moved to town and not somebody that's a frequent salon hopper. I'm saying somebody that was dedicated and decided to look elsewhere. When they do that, they're leaving an environment that they have most likely become what I think the industry would deem a regular, right? We know when Susan is coming in to see us, she comes in every 8 weeks. And so we are really good, again, as an industry, of going all out on our first visit. It's almost like a first date, but we're going to go all out on our first visit. I'm going to give you the best welcoming. Hi, I'm Ben. It's so nice to have you here at the Hair Loft. Firm handshake. Walk them over to the chair. Can I get you a beverage? Can I get you anything? I'm going to give you a salon tour so that you feel comfortable. Let's do our style profile. Okay, your face shape. This haircut would be awesome with your eyes and your skin tone. This color is going to be fantastic for you. We head off to the wash house. I'm going to give you the absolute best shampoo. Go all out because I know that that's the client's favorite part. When I'm styling the hair, this is how you do it. This is the product that you need. When they go to checkout, here's your product recommendations. This is what I believe in. When should you come back? 6 to 8 weeks right here. That's going to be around the holidays. Make sure you set it up with the front desk. We go all out. You guys get what I'm saying? But as that guest starts to come back, unfortunately, what ends up happening is instead of us, if we think of a line, instead of us trying to continue to go up and exceed the guest's expectations, we tend to slide down into a bit of like a friend zone. You know, so after the 3rd, 4th, 5th visit, and as John says, 6th or 7th visit, by that point, if a guest is coming, you know, every 8 weeks, at that point, they've roughly been with us for maybe a little over a year, year and a half, 2 years, depending on their frequency. Now we feel like we know them. Now we're in this friend zone. And instead of us like treating them again like a service provider, making sure that we're hitting all those answers, offering something new, really, again, exceeding those expectations. Now it's, hey, Susan, how are you? Did you get anything to drink? Like now the ownership is on her to grab her own cup of coffee. Okay, well, come on. Let's go over here. How did the haircut work last time? Okay, did you want to do just the same thing? Like, we get rid of everything. We're a little behind schedule. So now the shampoo, like, yeah, make it good, but I don't have the time to really make it the full experience. Or, you know, she's been coming for years. She never buys anything with us, so I don't make product recommendations. Oh, my client, she always books online, so I'm not going to make my recommendation of when to come in. And so that becomes a problem because now we're just cycling through clients that have a 6 to 7 visit lifespan and then they move on. The other thing is if a new guest does come in and we treat them like our quote unquote regulars and we think, oh, you know, I'm just going to be friendly with them, welcome them. They just left somewhere where they were a regular. They don't want to be treated like a regular. They want to be treated like a new client. They want to be treated like you're going all out for them. And so again, that's one aspect of retention. But everything that we do in the salon is built for customer satisfaction. You know, the chairs are comfortable for customer satisfaction. The music that we play is played for customer satisfaction. The beverages that we have there is for customer satisfaction. You guys get my point. And so everything that we want is for the customer. So absolutely, the customer is the most important person in the salon. Except the service provider is the most important person in the salon. Now, if you're a stylist, you're probably like, yeah, absolutely. But no, think about it. I have a little plaque on my desk that has a quote from Walt Disney, and I keep it there as a reminder of this. But it's one of his best quotes, and it is, you can design and create and build the most wonderful place in the world, but it takes people to make the dream a reality. See, now I said that there are a lot of salons, and anybody can choose to go to any salon. But at the same time, a stylist can choose to work in any salon. Okay, and obviously, as a business and salon owner to salon owners, there is no business without services, and there are no services without service providers. And so, the stylist or any sort of service provider, but that person is the most important person in the salon, right? Without them, we wouldn't even have a business. And so, everything that we are doing, we have to have put in place the same principles that we have for customer satisfaction that we do for team satisfaction. Now, I said there's a lot of different salons. I actually had somebody on our team address this with me because we use this awesome app. If you guys have a multi-person team and you're looking for something to help with some communication, it's called Slack, Slack, and it is an app built for team communication. It works on Apple, works on Android, and it's just a nice environment to keep the team communicating that isn't just text messages, but also isn't like a Facebook group, because we had a Facebook group for our team. And once you end up on there and you're seeing political posts and baby photos and pet pictures, like you quickly get pulled out of the fact that you went there to see something. So I'd really recommend Slack. But anytime that we do a new hire, I always post in there like, everybody, please welcome so and so to the team. Like our recent hire. I said, everybody, please welcome Madeline to the team. Madeline, we are so happy that you chose to work with us. And I actually had somebody on the team say, like, you need to cool it on your thank yous. Like, you sound desperate. That is not my point. But my point is to say that, we do really appreciate people choosing to work with us, because there are so many salons that people could start their careers and have their careers at. And so with skill and development and career path, there is so much energy in the development, the education programs in order to accelerate people's careers. Yes, is there going to be training when we hire somebody out of beauty school? Absolutely. Because even if they go to the best school in the world is simply a start. We have to have that graduate program so that they can, get some real world training. And of course, Hair Loft has a great reputation. We've been around for 37 years. People know us. We can't have I almost said grade school level. We can't have grade school level people, but we can't have beauty school level people doing those services and charging a professional premium. And so that education is ongoing beyond just getting people to be a level 1. How do we then develop their skills to get from level 1 to level 2 to level 3? And in addition to that, there's a lot of time and energy put into goal setting. How do we make sure that while people are here, they are progressing forward professionally and financially being able to have a lifestyle and a career and make the money that they need to make in order to live? And so if you think about all these things, it becomes very clear that the service provider is the most important person in the salon. Except for the fact that it is the owner, actually, that is the most important person in the salon. I've got a quote for all these sections, but think about it. I mean, this comes from Howard Schultz. He's the founder of Starbucks, and managing a business, small or large, today requires an extremely disciplined, thoughtful approach with regard to the pressure that people are under. Business ownership is not easy. People that are really good at it make it look easy, but it is not easy. Without the owner, there is no visionary, there is no leadership. And the owner is really the person that has assumed all the risk. No business is free. Whether it's a small, single-person place or obviously a large place isn't free. But you get my point, that if the business collapses, oftentimes, especially in a small business, the owner's personal finances are completely wrapped up in the success or the failure of that business. And so that's intimidating. So if you feel like, the owner in the salon, they're always demanding, they're always asking of things, like that's where a lot of that pressure and a lot of that anxiety is coming from, is because this is theirs. If this goes out, they go out. And so while there is a lot of risk, there is, of course, also a lot of reward. But the truth is that without the owner, none of it would be possible. Now, I asked in the other sections, how many salons are there? There's a lot, right? There are a lot. But how many awesome salons are there? Not as many. And so that's where the owner is so important. Because if they've created an awesome business, if they've entered an insanely crowded marketplace where oftentimes it seems like it's a race to the bottom in terms of pricing, and they've created something that is sustainable, they've created something that is fantastic, that people love, how awesome is that, right? Like, they broke the mold. They went in the opposite direction of what the rest of the industry seems to be going. And so if you don't like their dream, if you feel like you're in a situation where my owner's not the cool, well then either live the dream or go create your own, right? But the owner is the most important person in the salon when it comes to setting up the guidance, the visionary, and the leadership. And so there you go. I've painted a picture here that hopefully you get what I'm saying. The answer to that question, who is the most important person in the salon, is that there is no single person that is the most important person in the salon. The customer is, of course, the most important, because without them, we wouldn't be here. Without the service provider, there is no business providing the service, and without the owner, there literally is no business, because nobody would have started it. But I can tell you who is not the most important. The person who thinks they're the most important is not the most important person. And when we went through that list, I'm sure that at some point all of you agreed, like, yes, that person's the most important. That person's the most important. But I really hope that the point that you agreed at was the one that you weren't in that category, right? Like, as an owner, I don't necessarily think that I'm the most important person in the salon. I know that a lot of it comes back to me, but I believe that it's the other categories that are the most important. And so think about it. I mean, the customer that walks in your door that is demanding, that is difficult, you don't even really want that customer. So that customer is not the most important person. There's again another quote for this section that I found from Neil deGrasse Tyson, amazing scientist, great personality on TV. But if your ego starts out with "I am important, I am big, I am special," you're in for some disappointments when you look around and see what we've discovered about the universe. No, you're not. No, you're not. You're small in time and in space. And you have this frail vessel called the human body that's limited on Earth. And I just thought that one was kind of funny to use here at the end. But the person who thinks that they're the most important is not. As I said, customers that are the most demanding and they think they're the most important, we don't want to work with people like that. And I'm not saying that customers can't obviously have requests, but I'm saying how they go about making those requests. Service providers that think that they're the most important person, nobody wants that sort of attitude. It's kind of an embarrassing story, but years ago, and this is why I'm sharing it. I've actually never shared the story publicly, but years ago when we opened our new salon, now this is, at the time it's 9 years ago from now, but we had just moved into our new location, and at our original location, it was kind of an old school setup. So we had a vending machine. It was, a Pepsi soda machine, and it was like 75 cents to get a can of pop. And so we went when we built out our new salon, I said, like, we can't do that. Like, that, we're charging, at the time, I think it was like $50 for a haircut. I was like, we're charging $50 for a haircut, and we're making people pay 75 cents to get a soda. Like, let's just give them soda. And so we didn't put in a vending machine. We put in a refrigerator at our beverage bar. Much more luxurious, and it's a small touch, but it's another way for us to deliver value to the client. So we're doing it, and the employees were used to, at the time, buying their sodas in the same vending machine, right? We had one vending machine, everybody used it. And so we noticed, though, that when we had put in the new beverage bar, that since it was free, the team would take a soda when they were having their lunch. And just because we were a new business, I didn't necessarily have a problem with people having a soda. Whatever, you're working hard, like grab a beverage. But we said, please be mindful, right? Like we're in a new experience here. We're doing new things. We have new costs. We're just trying to watch our costs. Just be mindful of how much you take. And we had somebody on our team write a passive aggressive I shouldn't say passive. It wasn't passive aggressive. It was aggressive. There wasn't anything missing or passive about it. But basically saying, like, we're giving out free soda. If you want us to be a good service provider, then you should take care of us first. And if we want, a soda, or if we want cookies that are on the beverage bar, then we deserve them. And like I said, like in the situation, like we're just trying to watch our costs, and I don't really mind if somebody has it. But man, does that attitude just make you want to go like, you know what? Nobody gets a soda. The soda's off limits. We're taking it out. So that type of attitude is obviously not somebody that you want to work with. And owners are not exclusive of this idea either. If you open a business and you think that the entire business is built around building up your profile or building up the owner's profile, and it's all about me, that's ego talking. That is not a responsible way to be operating a business. And I think that I would love to see more owners operating from the mindset of I'm working for the team as much as the team is working for the customer. Because ultimately, to be a successful owner, you have to build, in our case here at Hair Loft, I'm responsible for 22 chairs. As a stylist, you only have to build one chair. As an owner, you have to build 22. And so it's not about my profile or Benjamin Jay being the most successful. It's about making each individual stylist and service provider successful. And so the real key here to all of this is simply treat everyone in the salon like they're the most important. When you're working with your client, treat them like they're the most important person, because in that moment they are. As the owner, treat your team like they're the most important, because they absolutely are, and you wouldn't be able to be a success without them. And as a service provider, think about the responsibility that the owner has taken on, and thank them and treat them like they're the most important person in the salon. And I think that if we can all put other people ahead of ourselves, we'll all be able to make everybody a lot happier. So thank you for hanging out with me here. I would love your feedback. Like I said at the top of the show, email me directly at ben@thehairloftltd.com. I'd love to hear from you. Love to chat. Please subscribe on whatever platform you're listening to this now. I think we're on iTunes, we're on Google, we're on Spotify, or maybe Spotify is still coming. But anyway, please subscribe. I'd love it if you'd share and hit that 5-star ranking or thumbs up or whatever. Every platform is different. Follow us on our social. We are at FF Salon EDU on Instagram and Twitter, and at Facebook and YouTube we are /FF Salon Education. But I really love this podcast, and I love sharing it with you, and it means a lot that you're hanging out with me. So until the next episode, continue to live your successful lifestyle. Thank you.